Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, which is going to be Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jeff Lewis Live, the fires. Oh, all of it. Y'all, I had to sneeze so bad when I was about to get on. And I was like, I need a light. I was like, I couldn't even come on live because I'm like, I'm going to sneeze the second I get on. And I still haven't sneezed. So if I look like something's going on in the nasal area, it's because I feel like I have to sneeze. Hope you're having a great day. We are chilly. I don't even know what it is. We are chilly and drizzly. So I just picked up my Walmart groceries and I hate when it's drizzling it's 49. Feels like 34, it says. It doesn't feel that cold, to be honest with you. I mean, I went out to my car in a t-shirt. So, anyways, rain forecasted. Okay. Oh, it's going to rain tonight. I've got to look decent at 6 o'clock. I'm going out to a dinner with one of my daughters and her bestie's mom before they all go back to college. I don't like to tip. Michael Riley, you are life goals because you are either just pooping dollar bills or you just spend your money so freely. Michael Riley's like, get those groceries delivered for a few bucks. I'm like, I hate tipping when I can just drive up because Walmart won't let you tip. They accepted my tips during COVID. I would just put $5 or $10 back there and just be like, oh, that's for you. So, because in the early years, they would not take a tip. You have to remember, I've been doing Walmart pickup, grocery pickup. Gosh, 7, 8 years now, literally so long ago, even before I was a teacher. As a stay-at-home mom, I was like, well, why would I walk inside if I don't have to? Anyways, this is one of the many high protein snacky snack. I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. If y'all haven't tried these Dr. Atkins, this one is a milk chocolate caramel square. No idea how many calories this tiny little chunk of deliciousness is, but it's doing it for me. So anyways, I will try. We do have snow in Texas. My daughter it's in Texas, near Dallas, sent us this beautiful video. She's doing her paid internship right now for audit. She's getting her master's. And anyways, she just flew home last night from a beautiful weekend in Orlando where her paid internship, paid them to come and hang out for a few days. Anyways, but she is back. Today was supposed to be another day of her paid internship and she's working from home because it's snowing and icing. So all the bad weather is already going on and the awfulness going on in California and the LA area with the wildfires. But more bad weather and awful disasters are going to happen or starting now with all the snow and the ice. So pray that everyone stays so healthy. I don't know. I mean, Southern Belle Cells said, yeah, I saved so much money without walking in Walmart. I love the pickup. And I love that we can just add to it as we need. So I've got the app on my phone. The kids and my husband will add food to either my phone. They'll say, give me my phone. I'll text the group chat and I'll say Walmart ? That means, let me know. Do you need deodorant? Do you need toothpaste? Do we need more cottage cheese? Do we need more milk? Do you want your special snacks? So anyways, it does. But then when there's new snacks and foods, I don't necessarily take the time to look through all the normal stuff. I just kind of buy what I'm used to buying, like you buy the same fruits. Like almost once a week, I type in red pears just to hope. I don't even know when the season is. My daughter and I love red pears so much. And I mean, I never want those green Barnum. What do they call, whatever the green pears are? Never want those. We always want the red. So anyways, thank y'all for hitting the like button or the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Let me get the ticker going. We do not have the phone on yet, but I will take it off Do Not Disturb towards the end of the show. Bartlett pears, that's what they're called. Whoa. Oh, Jet. Remind me, Jet, are you in, Prague. Yeah. I was going to say that. And this in your, Jet says, I have groceries delivered here in Prague and it costs 25 crowns. That sounds so fancy. I sort of love 25 crowns. I've never heard of that, which is equal to $1.10 and no expected tip because they don't tip here anywhere. Wow. Yeah. No, Walmart, they keep adding, it's all kind of these suggested tip because I used to do it all the time. And then I was like, God, I'm really spending a lot of money on tipping Walmart and I'm just cheap. Got to pay for 5 colleges somehow, right? Somebody's got to be cheap for the family. It might as well be me. Anyways, okay, so let's get into a couple things. Obviously, I was happy watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City last night and the trash that it is. Brittany Bateman. And I flip over to Facebook on my phone because, of course, I'm a chumpette and I've got to multitask and just can't, stay focused on anything. And somebody said, Jamie's going live. And Jamie Kennedy, he's Instagram live. And he's showing all the fires or whatever. I figured he was evacuating. So I go and his Instagram live was over. And then I don't see it. You know how you can choose a button and you can save your Instagram live to your grid and rewatch it. That wasn't on there. So then another time y'all said that he was live. Somebody said that Chef Stu was live. So Chef Stu and I hadn't been talking for a long time, not just because of, obvious reasons. And how things went down with him and Jeff and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I'm sure with 1,000 other people, he texted Happy New Year. Oh my God, we've been texting a lot. Okay, sorry. Anyways, okay, he's doing great. I can't even, there's literally so many texts I can't even read back. Anyways, I did check on him last night. At the time, he was not going to evacuate. He was like, oh, and I said, look, somebody told me you went live. And he was like, yeah, I did, but now I'm off. So anyways, I think he's doing okay. And he was obviously paying attention to all of it for sure. I don't think they are, but I was worried. So I saw Jamie's Instagram live. Oh, I went back again and he was again, it had just ended. And I'm like, never mind. And then I finally caught an Instagram live of his and he was like walking, then he was in his van. I don't think anyone else was with him because he's driving and like holding the phone. And all I saw was like a comment that said something like, he's an actor producer and he doesn't even have a phone like magnet in his van. And I'm like, even I've got a phone magnet. Like this is the magnet that attaches to my car just for driving and having my phone there. Anyways, he wasn't really answering questions. He wasn't really showing much. It was just chaotic. The more I watched that in the news that was covering it, like constantly, this is like 10, 11, midnight my time. So, I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm seeing all this news. It's just freaking me out. And then I see his Instagram stories where he shows the video on his TV computer screen that he was showing the Hollywood Hills fire. And he was like, no, this is no accident. And then my brain, y'all, when I tell you I got sucked in by Jamie freaking Kennedy, I got sucked in. This was earlier in the night. My husband was still awake. And I said, oh my gosh, this fire here that happened. I said, why is there no other fires around it? He's like, I don't know, And I said, well, how would that, it didn't make sense that an ember could travel that far without dropping out somewhere else and just happen. Anyways, my brain went to, oh my gosh, because I know I've already seen the word that Palisades they think was started by a human, whether it's accidental, intentional, we don't know. And we know accidental fires happen, especially when there's dry and no rain and the winds were just unprecedented and stuff. But my brain went there and I was like, oh my gosh, with all the fire insurance cancellations that y'all informed me of on yesterday's podcast, my brain went down dark. Luigi dark, okay? I would have never guessed in a million years when I saw that this guy was gunned down in the early morning in front of a nice hotel in New York City. And then I found out who he was, all this stuff. I thought, oh, it's a cheating scandal. It's a business scandal. He owes someone money. It's a gambling something. Never in a bazillion years would I ever like to think that it was somebody that was, planning this attack on him because he is an insurance CEO. So my brain goes to, oh my gosh, what if this is something along those lines? It was just so many fires. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, it's just something I never even knew of. Mary says, I can't believe the insurance cancellations. It's crazy. So my husband knew a little bit about it. It gets a little political because obviously people are talking about the mayor that was in Ghana at an event, a presidential something, an event. She had to be flown back. I have watched the video of her just like not answering all these questions, like these rapid fire questions. She just seemed stunned. And I'm like, you're a mayor. Like, you should have been planning and prepping for a statement and had your shit together. But anyway, she's just standing there. Obviously lots of stuff's being said about the governor. So, I'm seeing all of that and about how things could have been prevented or why this is so much worse than ever. So, anyways, my brain just went to, oh my gosh, like this could happen anywhere. At one point, my brain thought, is something bigger going on? And I really got terrified because, I'm already so worried about everyone in California and devastated for them, and the stress and the anxiety and the financials, the emotionals, everything. And then I started thinking, what if this is something bigger going on? Like, people are like upset about I don't know. I had to get off. So I've stayed off the news a lot of today. If you are a new Instagram subscriber, I did start the Instagram subscriber thing up again. It's $4.99 a month. We will go back to having a Sunday Ask Me Anything with y'all. We will go back to having the private chat that we can chat on. So, and I think because some people, I already know of one person that Instagram doesn't let them join my subscription for some reason. So I will do the membership on YouTube also. YouTube was forcing me when I set it up this time to do 3 different prices. And I was like, no. So you can title your options on the membership on YouTube. So one I did is $4.99 a month. That's the first tier. And then the second tier, I said, do not pay for this. And the third tier, I said, do not pay for this. So YouTube is in the process of approving that. So whether they're going to approve me saying don't pay for this, I really don't know. Folks are linking. Yeah, I know. I didn't even know. Like I said, I really, for my own, I don't know, I really stay out of the news, and I'm just so into facts that sometimes I just get into, well, prove to me that Hawaii was linked to conspiracies. Southern Belle says folks are linking this to the Hawaiian fires as a conspiracy theory. I know there's so many of it. So I was just crazy. Yes. So the fire cuts, like $17 million just cut from the fire department in LA. The lack of, I guess they used to cut, or whatever you call it, debrush, whatever, I'm saying the wrong word, like 4 million acres a year. And now they only did like 42,000 or something like that. So whatever it was. So Liz and the Bee's giving us information. No money cut. So maybe it was Orange, whatever it was. My friend Ashley with gosh dang it, what's the Bravo mom, Ashley in the OC. Her husband's a firefighter, kind of a bigwig in the fire department thing, and she said that there was a big fire cut in the fire department. Liz and the Bee says no money cut. The budget was increased by 50 million last year. So again, I don't know all the facts, and I just need to keep my head focused on family and friends, pray for everyone else, do whatever I can, financially and all of that. I do wish I was closer to help out, because I know how to like get in there and help out and be very practical. I get very like Bethany Frankel's all like, just give gift cards so they have money, they can go out and get what they need. Nobody wants your old sweatpants that you've been eating ice cream in for 17 years. And they're like, oh, I'll donate them, they'll be happy. No, I mean, anyways, they need practical things like new underwear, new socks, Anyway, so it's crazy. Okay. So glad all the chumps are okay, for sure. Okay, another thing I'm obsessed with lately is Twitch, whose real name is Stephen Boss. He was on, was he the DJ on like the Ellen DeGeneres show? Really popular guy, professional dancer, married, 3 kids. You know, he ended his life December 2022, December 13th, 2022. So, I mean, almost exactly 2 years ago, sadly. And at the time, it seemed like a huge surprise to his wife. Later, it kind of came out that he was found, a gunshot to his head in a hotel in Encino. And then it kind of came out that he's left before. Maybe he has some, demons, what have you, but we don't really know. Now she's written a book, and his family is really coming after her, which is just a hot mess because I don't know. They're really on her about her coming out publicly and writing this book and doing the interviews about his drug addiction that she found out was much worse when she was getting ready for the funeral. She found paraphernalia and stuff. They're saying it was only weed and that he was trying to get off of it and stuff. She says that's not the case. Apparently, she made everyone sign an NDA to attend the funeral. I'm thinking they had family issues before. I don't know. I mean, an NDA, I don't know. I don't know. I've seen lots of famous people that have public funerals and they let fans come. Clearly he had a lot of fans from his TikToks. I mean, just days before he ended his life, they had made a cute TikTok dancing together. You just never know. And I think after COVID, thankfully, we talk a lot more about mental health. I see on our local Facebook groups and stuff, people saying, "Hey, does anyone have a psychiatrist to recommend for my daughter? Does anyone have a marriage counselor?" I don't think you would have ever seen that even 5 years ago, but much less like 10 years ago, Seth. Anyway, so it's coming out about that. She's putting stuff in there from his private journal. I guess stuff like this has come out before. They were married 9 years. They had just gone on like an anniversary trip together. They'd been together like 12 years. Is she betraying him or is she just telling her truth? One thing I didn't love is I think the race card was brought into this. And the first thing I saw a day or two was something about, she's a white woman, he was a black man. So their children are biracial. And they said something like, don't do this to your, a black man. Don't disrespect a black man and his black children. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't love that because I was like, why are you bringing race in? She was married to him. They have children together. To me, they're biracial children. Like, yeah. So I just thought it was disrespect. I think there's years long tension, or at least tension the last 2 years since he sadly ended his life. It's just awful. Something else I'm obsessed over is first thing I heard weeks ago, month ago, whenever it was this Brianna Chicken Fry, whatever her last name is. Apparently she's a real last name, but Brianna Chicken Fry, dating Zach Bryan and all the, emotional stuff, the lawsuit, the payout, all this stuff. She was offered 12 million, supposedly. She was going back and forth with it. And then he took it all away eventually. And clearly Dave Portnoy from, I know him as Peach's dog, honestly. I just see his TikToks every once in a while. But he's got this huge Barstool Sports, podcast empire. They all three, I think, had a podcast together. Whatever the falling out is, Brianna and Grace O'Malley are not, friends anymore. The clip I saw was the one, I made a video about it. Let me see if I can play it again. Because I just didn't, I do think the clip made it sound, Hattie. Okay, let me see.
Okay, good salary. It was decent, but my money was making a little bit more.
Okay, so I'll be the first to admit I am not. Okay, so that is her on Grace O'Malley on a podcast. Basically, I'm told the whole podcast she was very respectful. Yes, the Theo Vaughn podcast this past weekend. I'm told she was very respectful, very grateful for her opportunity to work there, but what else are you going to say? And she wasn't digging on him, but that tiny clip that I saw and the way she said it and that she was like, it was decent. I'm like, God, I wonder what decent is to her. Okay, just thought whatever. Well, then it comes out obviously that Dave Portnoy was like, you know what? Let me just tell you her exact salary in the bonus setup that we had. So basically, her salary in 2024, after working there for 3 years as a podcaster with them, was $175,000. Then she got 70% of the cut of, I guess, merchandise or whatever they sell. And so total, she made $250,000, $250,000 in 2024. And, I'm just a facts person. I wasn't getting emotional with it. Somebody on the Facebook group, whenever I brought it up, they were like, no, you're taking this wrong. And I'm like, I don't know. I saw the way she answered it. I saw her say decent. That's why I like to watch things for myself. But I did admit that I did not watch the entire or listen to the entire podcast. So anyways, just want to know your thoughts, because I think I would have defended myself too and come out with the facts of like, she was paid $250,000 for a year. Like I think Dave was defending himself because it seemed like, oh, they paid her 60,000 or something. Like it was just nothing. You know what I mean? Southern Belle says my partner met Theo a couple of months ago and said he was humble. I love that. Krista says you're right. Dave Portnoy was paying her like $270,000, which is great for what Grace brought to the table. So, I mean, this boils down to clearly people that are team Grace, team Dave Portnoy, and team Brianna Chicken Fry, which I can hardly say with a straight name. But anyways, so clearly people like some people and don't like some people, what have you. But I was just basing it off of that little clip where he said, were you paid well? And she's like, decent. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, but someone else, I'm assuming she means Brianna, I don't know, was paid a lot more. That happens. I mean, that happens with the Housewives. That happens with movie stars. The big guy's going to make more. The newbie is not going to make much more. And then if he has an explosive blowout movie, they're going to make 10 times the price their next movie. So it's just kind of the way it goes. Oh man, he's a cutie. He's a look. He's a certain kind. But Theo is my hall pass, says Charlie. So he's definitely got a look, a rugged. He's got a rugged look for him. You know what I mean? Wait, who had matching sweatshirts? What? He's boyishly handsome, Yvonne Gal says. Anyways, okay. That's all the trash I have about that. Speaking of trash, keep staring at my Atkins. Atkins needs to give me a deal. I really do love their candies. Oh my gosh, they've got a turtle, like the peanuts, the caramel, and the chocolate. It's so good. Anyways, and then I'm trying a couple of new things that I just put into the Walmart, and I put healthy protein snacks because, y'all, I do have an update. I kind of forgot that my appointment was after my podcast yesterday. I don't know how much I can say on YouTube without being like a medical doctor. I know people get in trouble on TikTok for even saying certain words. Maybe this is something we'll have to discuss in details on the Sunday Ask Me Anything or in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. I think I can say anything there. I think. Anyways, okay, real quick. I did have my doctor's appointment yesterday. She is absolutely on board with me starting a medicine that starts with a W. I'm really trying to be careful of what I say. Anyways, to help me be healthier. I don't even know if I can say the WL 2 words. You know what I'm talking about? Not Weight Watchers, but WL, like, anyways. Do the gluten-free diet. I mean, trust me, I'm whatever's going on with my eating habits is I'm eating, I'm living to eat instead of eating to live. Trust me on that. So anyways, y'all have given me so much advice, and I'm so behind on responding and reading my DMs right now. So I do apologize to that, because I do Yes, that is the word. So all I'm going to do is say, yes, Southern Belle's got the word right. You'll have to give us details when you start. I think it's going to be ready for pickup today. I had to, well, if I could, if it was that easy, Raquel says, stop the fast food and cook at home. It will make a difference. I know, but I'm not. I'm not. I'll just be honest. I am anything but honest. I don't show you, oh, I eat a salad every single day or I eat, chicken broth. No, I'm not eating healthy. Some of it is, some of it is not. But anyways, but I don't want to get in trouble for chatting about it either. So, but I will update you. I did have to call another pharmacist to get it in. I understand. Yes. Darla says, I have 4 doses of W in my refrigerator and I'm afraid of it. I had a very good conversation with my internist yesterday, and she really made me feel confident with the new information that's out, the new information about a lot of our insurances. Y'all are being very vulnerable and honest, and I thank you so much for that on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group on the thread that I started, because I think for a couple of years, people weren't really talking about it. I'll just tell you real quick, and then we're going to get into Salt Lake City and today's Jeff Lewis Live, but before we run out of time. But I realized so many people were now using it and just not talking about it. It's almost becoming like this forbidden whatever. So I'm not going to be like that. Chat about it, ask me anything. I don't gatekeep stuff. So anyways, I've got a place to recommend that I have no affiliation with. I literally just happened to Google it 2 months ago, not even 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, maybe. Anyways, I'll tell you everything on Sunday because we'll have more time. Okay. Oh, I have bunions. What are y'all talking about? Bunions? Ah, I've got bunions for sure. Okay. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, episode 15. I mean, you could have just traded out these ladies for New York being in Puerto Rico, and it would have been the same girls' trip. They're at dinner. They're fighting on the way in the Sprinter van. They see Brittany Bateman, the new girl, video recording for 24 seconds on her phone. And she should have hidden it for one thing. I guess she wanted the audio to be better. She is recording just the back of the chair in front of her. So it's just a gray screen and she's recording. And they said during this fight, let me clarify, this is a fight going on. A pretty big fight. And they see her, and I think it was Whitney who said, why are you recording? Well, don't forget the whole drama of Monica Garcia, who had, before I was even on Instagram all the time, I had no idea. Like my Instagram was like sarcastic mom accounts and stuff, like just complaining about our kids, things like that. I didn't even post much. I just looked at stuff. So I didn't know anything about following Housewives, even though I've watched from day one. This, Monica Garcia, now we know, had this like Finsta where with her and a few other ladies where she would record stuff and then give it to other bloggers, or she would give it to them and they would upload it. They had no idea like the rat was within the group. It was her. And when they all figured it out, it came out. So of course they're on high alert. Like, first of all, they've got cameras and microphones all over them. They're sharing plenty about their lives. But there's also a thing where Bravo and the production team doesn't want this stuff to get out in real time, like it keeps happening with all the reality TV shows, sadly, because it kind of ruins the point of the show. Like, I want to see episode 15. I don't want to see it all over Instagram, every podcast, TMZ, what outfit they wore, all of that. That's why they save the fact that they're wearing their clothes. That drove me nuts. That's why they save the fact that what clothes they're wearing, they'll like post that day, or Dubai would really do that and be like, oh, these are the outfits. This is me getting ready for that day. But they would post it the day that episode came out. So it wasn't ruined for anyone. You know what I mean? But Brittany immediately lies. She's like, no, I don't even know how to record on my phone. I was trying to take a picture or make a video and send to my daughter because she got a good grade on a math test. Wait, what? While you're working, I'm sorry, you're working. You're being recorded. You're on a paid trip with Bravo, with production. Put your damn phone away. There's a fight going on. Get involved. Give us what we're watching. You don't even have a good relationship with your 2 teenage daughters, though. You're not sending a video because they got a good grade on a math assignment or a math test. I mean, freaking ridiculous. No one trusts her. Confessional, the producer comes out and she's like, but it looked weird. If you weren't recording, she was like, oh, it was only for like 1.5 seconds. And the producer's like, no. And then, of course, they go back and do the rewind. It was 24 seconds she's recording. And right during a huge argument. Put your phone down, get the fuck to work. You're working for us, girl. I don't believe for 2 seconds. She is so thirsty on Instagram. I don't follow her. But of course, I saw it everywhere. Her and Jared, whatever his name is. Oh, my contacts are ready. Oh no, I have an eye appointment because it had been 2 years since I'd been to the eye doctor. Time flies when you're having fun. I know I'd have an eye doctor appointment to get my new more contacts. Anywho, and then Brittany's like, my nieces looked up to me. I'm LDS. Everyone around me is Mormon. Oopsie, I have a secret to tell. I have a physical relationship with Jared. I mean, Mary's like, ew. Like, nobody wants to think about Brittany and Jared. I mean, it was so dumb. I don't believe her for 1 minute. I also don't want to believe Meredith's conspiracy theory that Brittany might have put in a recording device in her hotel room. But I do sort of love that they were like, how did you hear me, what you thought was crying, when I had a coughing fit? And I was crying, but you thought I was throwing up, which is insinuating an ED, which is a very serious accusation. I mean, Brittany's just a mess. Is she a mess or is she getting her paycheck? You know what I mean? Yeah, Yvonne Gal says, I didn't see a big problem with the video either, just another reason to argue. So did you think it was okay? See, I guess my first thought is that she's recording to give to a blogger to get on the end with people, like, oh, I'm giving insider information. And that blogger's going to want it because she's giving information. Oh, there was a big fight. I mean, you see it all the time on the blogs or the podcasters, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I got this picture. Here is, Marge and Teresa fighting on while filming. And so we won't see it for 3 to 5 months, but it's like, okay, that's what they do. They fight. You know what I mean? Yvonne Gal says the recording device thing for Meredith was beyond stupid. I mean, it's like they come back and it's like they're still fighting. And then they realized, were we too hard on Brittany? She's like crying like a 12-year-old in 7th grade. I was just like, yes. Oh, I didn't know you were Candace. Candace says, I'm Mormon, and these ladies in shows are not Mormons. They're just trying to play into the stereotypes. Well, I definitely think they were Mormons growing up, but as adults, I think they've, made a different choice, right? Because I mean, the ones that went to BYU, the ones that went on the, I'm saying it wrong, the mission trip, things like that, they definitely know, you know what I mean? Yeah, where have those people gone? What is going to happen to the New Jersey specific blog accounts if this show doesn't come back? What happens to the Vanderpump Rules ones? Do they just pick up with the new cast, I guess? Yvonne Gal says, I would think the sending videos to bloggers is over after Jennifer and Teresa's debacle. No, there's plenty of people ready to take that information and post it and make $1 off of it. You know what I mean? For sure. Darla says, there is Mormon as Cody Brown from Sister Wives. Oh my God. Anyways, Mary at one point was like, Meredith's boring. Why would anyone want to record her room? And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, my love and hate of Mary is wild for sure. Okay, why is this doing this again? It started doing this yesterday. I swear it's like I touched. Am I touching something on this? See how it was normal and now it's doing this weird delay thing again. It's like I touched something, but I didn't. That is going to drive me nuts for the more than 24 more minutes that we're live together. Okay. I didn't watch last night's Watch What Happens Live. Dorinda's hair looks amazing, so I can't wait to watch it. Keep wondering what Dorinda has on Andy Cohen. There's something there. I just can't put my finger on it. Okay, I'm going to turn the phones on in case anyone wants to call in. Kind of getting mixed reviews on the calls. Some of y'all are saying you can't hear the calls, and I'm like, and everyone else is like, I hear them just fine. So anyways, it's my internet speed. But what changes it? So is something going down? Oh, it is raining, but it's never done that. I don't know. It must be something. See, it's like on a delay. It's driving me nuts. Anyways, I pay for the highest internet I can get, in the suburb. Okay, on Jeff Lewis was Reza Farhan and Jack Noe Towers. Lots of swapping around due to people evacuating or not wanting to get out, wanting to maybe prep. That way they're ready at a moment's notice to leave their homes. That way they're getting everything. Because honestly, the more time you can prep and do, like the 6 Ps they talked about was really good. But then there was so much more. Like, don't just get your pets, grab their whole bags of dog food. We can get water most anywhere, but pet food, especially if your animal's on a specific food, you won't have that. So there's things to get ready immediately, but if you have a little more time, there was things like, scrapbooks or favorite pictures, a little bit of clothing if you can, underwear, things like that. But Reza and Zach Noe Towers came on because other people that were supposed to come on have either evacuated or they didn't want to leave their house, like Carney Wilson, which makes sense. They are serious about this, but in typical Jeff fashion, they're going to make fun of this and kind of make it lighthearted, which I can appreciate because I'm not so tight ass that I'm like, oh, don't make jokes. I mean, he's kind of making it lighthearted. He's in the thick of it. Almost, being affected by all of this, although he might just be thinking of all the design money he's going to make in 6 months. But when they joked about parking Jameson's 2007 Hyundai at Runyon Canyon, I was like, that's funny. It's funny. So last night, I don't know if Jamie Kennedy said that Doug and Jeff and someone else, Jameson maybe had evacuated. Jameson evacuated. Doug and Jeff are very clear. They didn't evacuate. They just went to a hotel room so they could have heater, hot water, Wi-Fi to work, to entertain Monroe, all those things. And also, Doug had a visitor. Doug had a friend with them. So Doug went to the hotel that Dr. Donna complains about, and forget the name of that one. The Gaylord? No, not the Gaylord. Anyways, and then Jeff went to the Beverly Wilshire, which is, we know where Monroe wants to live when she grows up, if they ever had an apartment. But Reza calling himself the Walmart Birkin of the chumps, that better make it to the opening clips next week. And that was funny. That was good stuff. Why they played, I guess because it's camping and people are kind of talking about camping as if, they're like, oh, I'm decamping here, whatever that word means. The Godfrey. Yes. Thank you. The speaker's not as loud as you. I would assume people would figure that out. Oh, gotcha. Taking all your information. Thank you, Tina. But they played this old Scott promo ad about camping, when they were together. And I'm like, boy, that is years long, but it's also very interesting since he is with, Gage as a boyfriend. Anyways, so Jeff yesterday, so I made a comment because when I heard, I think a caller called in and said, do you know how your brother Greg is? So Greg, his younger brother, and Jeff have been on the outs for a while, but they'll have moments where they'll do family dinners, they'll do holidays-ish together. But definitely not on good terms. Someone called in and said, do you know if your brother is helping out in the fires? His brother lives in the OC or somewhere near there. And Jeff has called him an EMT. He's called him a firefighter. He's something in that regard. I'm assuming he has all of those, not careers, those skills, right? So firefighter, EMT, whatever you want to call it. He's something in that could help in these fires for sure. And he's somewhat close, being less than an hour-ish away. And Jeff was like, oh, I don't know. So I posted in the Facebook group and I said, I'm kind of sad that Jeff doesn't even know. I mean, to me, this is not a normal fire. I mean, I'm sure the news is high. It's pros and cons. It's just like when it floods in Houston and everybody is calling. My family in Iowa is like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, oh, it didn't even rain here. But then I look on the news, I'm like, oh, it is devastating to a lot of Houston. You know what I mean? So I don't know how the national news is portraying this accurately or not. Also, they don't have the normal means to like show things from up above, because normally they get in the news helicopter or something, and the fires are preventing the winds, are preventing them from doing all of that. So it's kind of, different. But I didn't expect that Jeff would call his brother and bother him whenever I put this in the Facebook group. But I just thought, his dad, his other brother, his sister-in-law, somebody would just say through the grapevine, oh, Greg is up there helping. Because I don't even know what the situation is when firefighters go somewhere to help people. If there's no hotels, like, where do they stay? Like, they're an hour away. Some firefighters come from, states over to help other in big events like this, big catastrophic events. So it's like, he could stay at Jeff's house. I mean, a couple of firefighters could stay at Jeff's house. I mean, in a pinch, right? You help your brother out. But I didn't think Jeff would call him per se, but I thought he would hear from the grapevine, hey, is Greg up here helping? What have you. Okay, I did turn it off. Anyways, because, now we know that Jeff went and showed his house yesterday. I mean, and he says he doesn't want to sell it, but he took someone on a tour. So all of this is going on. I get it if it was, what did it say, Thursday? When did they start talking about this? All this Tuesday morning? But I guess in LA and the area, this was all over the news as warnings that this could happen. But clearly, no one expected it to be this bad or widespread or fast. You know what I mean? So, even Dr. Donna offered up her house to Jeff, and she lives quite a ways away in Palmdale. Where does she live? I forget where she lives, but it's not even close. Jeff has much more friends closer that would, he'd be able to stay there, but Jeff would just go to a hotel, I'm sure, like he did. Mayboo says, I've heard they get some sleep back at the station when they can. Yeah, but I mean, they're an hour away, so they'd be wasting all that time. You know what I mean? He did allegedly, maybe says, didn't Stu dress up as a firefighter one year? He was a firefighter, and Jeff was a police officer, right? Yes, very. Darla says, I don't like my brother, but I'd still check on his arrogant ass. Anyways, I mean, it's not like I was crying over it or anything. I just thought, it made me sad that he just had no idea. Because to me, this is also, they're working overtime. And any firefighter position is super stressful and super dangerous at times, but definitely in this, I mean, they were having less water. The winds were preventing them from doing normal stuff. I mean, it was just a lot of interesting stipulations going on with it. I haven't heard, Mayboo says, does anyone know what started these fires? A lot of times, sadly, it's an accident with the dry brush, these crazy high winds, the brush that's not been cleaned out, and all the debris and stuff in the areas that, even a cigarette butt, they said, can start something. Yeah, they won't know that for months, someone said. The down power lines can go because of the winds. A lot of this, I'm sure a lot of streets are closed that they can't even go and check on stuff like this. I mean, just sounds like a mess. But Jeff was back at work, like, all is good. On the second hour, again, I think it was a little bit of a swap out. I'm not really sure. I think it was supposed to be someone else, but Kelly Wagner yes, it was supposed to be Kelly and the other girl. She evacuated her buddy. And Doug Buden. Kelly's on better terms with her estranged husband. And did y'all think he's so Kelly Wagner went to college with Jeff. Kelly Wagner Osborne, I think is her legal name. I don't know what her husband does, but they got a shit ton of money, right? They have 2 little kids together. She was pretty much a casting director. Now she's been a stay-at-home mom for years. They're going through a divorce or a separation for sure. They have 2 different homes. She had said at one point things were getting kind of contentious. Things are much better now. Has her ex or estranged husband, she dating Sharon Stone? Is that what she was saying? Because then she was like, I texted you like to get Sharon Stone on the show. And he's like, wait, what? Like, I didn't answer that. You know what I mean? So which one? Mary says the sunset one. I've kind of heard so many different things. There's so many different fires. And like I said, all of today, I had to just stop watching. It was stressing me out. It wasn't doing my mental health any good to stress over it. Mary Trotman says the pop-up fire yesterday, they believe was arson. Jet says, remember the Paradise Fire in Northern California? Was started by the faulty power lines, and the power company was sued and had to pay hundreds of millions to victims. Wow. That's awful. Yes, I did. Darla says, did y'all see the woman? It was the daughter, and her parents are 92-ish years old. They had lost their home, and they'd recently had their fire insurance canceled. Nothing good about that, right? But I'm hoping that means the daughter is in their life and maybe has the ability to take them in to live with her. But I mean, just awful all around for sure. Yeah, Mary Trotman, that's what freaked me out, because Jamie Kennedy freaked me out when he was saying there's no, I know, I can't get into it. I'm so freaked out by that Jamie Kennedy stuff. The Studio City one was suspected arson, Jet says. Even Jeff and them were talking about the conspiracies and if it was a group of people going and setting fires, and are they copycat people? Was one an accident? You know what I mean? Michael Riley says, then I freaked him out. I know, I didn't mean to, but I don't freak out easily, but Jamie really freaked me out. Yes, I definitely stopped doing that. Anyways, okay, they talked about renter's insurance. Does it shock anyone that our Jameson Scala has renter's insurance? Of course he does. So I have had 2 apartments in my lifetime. I don't remember the first one I had with a roommate. It was my best friend's boyfriend. I know. But anyways, I had a boyfriend. She was my best friend since I was 10 months old. It was her boyfriend. Anyways, it was great. I don't remember if I had renter's insurance then, but I'm sure I did. But definitely when I graduated college, that apartment that I had for a year, I definitely had renter's insurance. I mean, I'm just that girl. But nowadays, 2 of my kids in college, one's in a dorm, but 2 have apartments, and it's required to have renter's insurance. I mean, of course, I'm the one on the name, and then they're also on the name so they can get their credit built up or whatever you call it. But yeah, it's required. I don't know if that's a new thing. I don't know if no, it's not a Texas thing because one's in Georgia and one's in Texas. So I'm just that girl. And years ago, it was like $10 to $30 a month. I mean, at that for an apartment. And one apartment I had was 1,000 square feet. So it was pretty big. That was a 1-bedroom. That was a really big apartment. It was crazy big. Anyways, Michael Riley says, I never had renter's insurance years ago. But nowadays, I mean, it covers a lot and it's not that much. You know what I mean? Darla says, I always have see, that's one thing we don't have. We don't have pet insurance. Darla says, I always have pet insurance, but have never had renter's insurance. It shows you my priorities. The puppies, always the puppies. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. Because of course I would think Jameson would. Of course I would think Kian didn't. I didn't realize, which kind of sucks, and this must be a California thing, and I agree. I don't know the rules on California, but he asked if Annie had renter's insurance, and she said, I got it last night, but it doesn't cover fire. So in Texas, I think it's kind of everything, like but would fire of an apartment, would that be like, God, how does that work? We need an insurance person. How does that work? If you start a fire in your house, like an accident, and it only burns your unit, which I doubt it would in an apartment or condo, but anyways, in a great situation, are you responsible for that? Or if somebody had insurance, if the complex goes on fire from wildfires, is that the apartment complex's thing? Like, I don't know. Oh, wait, what? No, I don't want to Google that. Jet says, search KTLA 66-year-old Victor Shaw passed away trying to defend the home that had been his family for nearly 55 years. So when they say, like Shane, I think it was Shane, kept saying fires go back to fires. They go back to places they've been before. But there's so many of these houses that were like 40, 50 years old. So clearly these are houses that had not been burned before. Just like, one of the comments I saw yesterday, was like North Carolina and Florida people getting involved in this is the karma. California's getting karma because they said they didn't really get much news coverage. Now, I saw a lot of coverage, and I don't really watch the news a lot at all. But what I remember about the North Carolina flooding was in Tennessee. It was at the foothills. And you would think, oh, of course it floods a lot. But a lot of those homes were 50, 80, 100 years old, and they had never been flooded before. So you just never know. Mother Nature can do crazy things and what have you. Maria says renter's insurance generally only covers the contents. The owner would have the building insurance responsibility. Wow. I mean, I don't know. Darla says, I live in the country and people are offering boarding for horses. I've been sharing that in different Facebook posts. Yeah, I mean, I've seen where people in, outlying areas are like, get me your puppies, get me your cats. I will keep them and treat them like my own until you can get back on your feet. Some of these people might get put in a rental home or a rental apartment or be staying with a friend or a family member that can't have pets. Or maybe they're now in a situation where they can't afford the pet care and the pet food now. So they need some help until they can get back on their feet and then get the animals back, right? Yes, allegedly, maybe says those are some real heroes. Amen. Okay, any calls, any questions, comments, 713-489-8488. Oh, today's Thursday. I kept thinking today was Friday. I'm like, no, I have different stuff going on tomorrow. Today is Thursday. So I will go and put some makeup on, pull my hair down. I'm going to wear a dress tonight. I'm not going to body pump. I had to text my friend, this morning and say, oops, I forgot I had dinner plans tonight. So MS says Shane doesn't know what he's talking about. He does watch the news. He says he listens to the news as he's getting ready in the morning. Yeah. Who's MS? Seems a bit extreme. I agree. MS. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways. Who are you talking about? Oh, yes. Allison says you may be able to get a discount through your place that you get your car insurance from for renter's insurance. Yeah, we've got everything through. Wait, you know what? I'm getting it all mixed up. One place is through ours, and another one, I think we had to use that condos. We had to use their insurance, maybe because it's out of state. I can't remember. I got to check on it, but we definitely have insurance. Anywho, about Shane. Oh, MS is the name. Oh, yes. Okay, Shane doesn't know what he's talking. Oh, yeah. I get it now. I get it. A person's name. Yes. Somebody did call in today, a mom, and said, she wants to bring her kids to spring break for ChumpCon. He did verify it is April 11th through 13th in Las Vegas. So no other details have gone out, obviously, with all of this going on in California and LA. I'm sure the last thing he's doing is getting details about ChumpCon hashed out, but that is definitely going to happen. It looks like April 11th through 13th in Las Vegas. So whether or not you plan to grab one of those 500 limited tickets, I think there's a lot of people that want to go and meet up, whether or not they're going to ChumpCon. There's definitely some people going that I want to see and hang out with. So I did decide to go. I think tickets are going to go on sale in about 2 weeks from Monday. So whatever that would have been, let's see. My daughter sent me a menu of the restaurant tonight. Cannot wait. If they have a show that day, he announced it on January 6th and said in 14 days, which would be the January 20th, but that's Martin Luther King Day. And I think they have that day off from Sirius. So I don't know if it'll be a pre-record and he'll announce it then. I don't really know. No, I don't think she was going to bring her kids. I think she said her kids were like 15, 12, and 11. I think she was saying I can't afford spring break and ChumpCon. So I think she was going to kind of make Las Vegas spring break, which I've done. I brought 4 of our kids to Las Vegas before for a spring break. I think 2019. I think spring break 2019 we did Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I think it's great for kids for some things, but definitely not ChumpCon. That's definitely 20 or 21 and up for sure. Oh, Jet says, I haven't seen, I'm not on Reddit. Jet says, I saw so many angry people in the Jeff Lewis Snark Reddit about the expected exorbitant prices of the tickets for ChumpCon. You know, people will buy them and resell them too, because this is a first time event, because people will pay, because it's limited to 500, because it's Las Vegas. You know, I think more people will go for sure. Yeah. I have old friends who are from Santa Monica, and it's all very real. Doubting our media is what people like Jamie Kennedy loves. Debbie says. Oh, Mayboo says, I think a lot of chumps are well off, and Jeff's caught on to that. I do think he tries to keep tickets within reason, because honestly, the fees are nothing we can control. That seems to be a thing through Ticketmaster. I mean, the resale sites, all of that kind of stuff. But so, you know, the fees are annoying and the taxes, whatever. But in general, his VVIP is like 200 or 225, maybe 250. I can't remember. I mean, you know, Broadway shows are that expensive, and he's paying all the people to be there. You know what I mean? Yes, no plain Jane. So the house where the bathroom and the closet that Jeff Lewis helped Melissa Rivers design on Hollywood House Lift, that house has been burned down, or at least damaged. I don't know what the extent of it is, but she at least evacuated quite early and maybe got she had a little more time and help for people to get out some of her mom and dad's watches and maybe some other things, but definitely not everything. Definitely not everything for sure. Oh, wait, did she? Oh, Jet says, will Melissa delay her wedding day now that her home is gone? Ooh, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot. Was the wedding like in March or April? Feels like it was in Jackson Hole somewhere. Yeah, that's just awful. Okay, well, no one called in today unless it just decided not to work. No, the last call was on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Okay, well, we are going to wrap things up. I will see you tomorrow, 4:00 Eastern. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast. Whether or not you listen on the podcast, go find Sarah from Texas on a podcast. Please take 3 seconds, scroll down, and hit 5 stars, and then post a review real quick. I would really appreciate it. And also make sure to hit the thumbs up. Okay, see you tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern. Everybody stay safe with all the fires and everything else going on in the LA area. Hope it dies down very soon. And everyone else that's about to have the bad weather of the ice and the snow. It's already hit North Texas, like I told you, and then it's going to move east. So everyone stay safe for sure. See you tomorrow.